Booktube, welcome back to Wordfully Yours, where I talk about books and you watch me talk about books. I just recently read I, Robot. Um, you probably have as well, but whatever. This is maybe one of my favorite Asimov stories that I've read. I haven't read them all, I've only read a few. So far, this is my favorite. Um, the whole book is actually a set of short stories that uh, illustrate the progression of the development of robots, how they start simple and they kind of evolve over time as the world progresses with it. The very first one is has to be my favorite of all of them. It involves a little girl who has a robot for basically a friend slash pet. The girl sees it as her friend, and she plays games with it, hide and go seek, and kind of whatever. Um, Her parents see it as a pet, such as they bought it for her as a pet. Um, During the story, robots can't talk. So when this little girl talks to she talks to the robot, and the robot kind of pantomimes a communication to the kid, um, but it can't use actual speech. Um, the uh, the mother one day says that she all of a sudden can't doesn't think that kids should be raised by robots because this kid is spending so much time with the robot. She's spending more time with the robot than she is with them. So the mother wants to get rid of it, and she has an argument with the father. The father wants to keep it, and back and forth, and the mother ends up winning the argument. Um, and the father decides to sell it back to the company, U.S. Robots and Mechanical Men. A long time ago, in my parents' time, um, they saw pets as possessions more than friends or family members. So when they no longer wanted a cat or a dog, they would take it and have it put down, take it to the pound, set it free in the woods, something like that. They would get rid of it. And that's basically what they did to this robot by doing this. They told the kid that they took the kid to a thing and she had a great time. I think it was the zoo. She had a great time and they spent all day there. And when she came back, the robot was gone. They told the kid the robot must have run away. Uh, that's basically what they told kids back in the day when they got rid of their pet. They would take the kid somewhere. They come back, it was gone. They told the kid it ran away, but in reality, they had it put down or given to the Humane Society or whatever. So they told this kid, it might come back, it might come back. It just get lost. It's like it's a robot, like it's going to get lost, right? Um, so one thing happens or another, and they take a tour of the U.S. Robots and Mechanical Men factory, hoping to pick out. Oh, before I get there, they actually buy this kid a dog to replace the robot as a friend. Something they used to do back in the day is stuff like that. They said, "Well, the kid will forget about it, and time enough, so they buy a kid a robot or buy the kid a dog to make up for it." So the kid is of course heartbroken and misses her robot friend. They take her to the factory to show her that these robots are just machines. But when they get there, the kid meets her robot friend, and they have this reuniting thing. And um, I like the story because it shows what people thought of animals back in the 50s, because this is when it was written. And it also shows what people thought of their children. Um, their children's feelings weren't really that important at the time, and they thought that they could just replace one thing with another and everything would be fine, kind of dictating the kid's experience, which, of course, we all know that doesn't work because look at how our parents turned out. Um, so that's the first story in the book. It uses these short stories to show where the progression is at the time of robots and the world in general. As the stories progress, robots get more and more sophisticated. It starts out where robots can't talk in that first story, and then in the next one, they meet a talking robot, and in another story, the robot doesn't believe that it's a robot, and they have to use logic to convince it that it is. And it turns out it's not so easy. And a lot of the stories, and most of the stories actually, they use the three laws of robotics to uh, create a problem and solve a problem. Such as, I think in the second story, they explain that one of the robots is lost, and they're on this moon. I think it was Titan or something. They explain one of the robots is lost because they told the robots to go mine something, but one of the one of the laws says that they have to obey humans. The third law is that they can't cause harm to themselves. So the robot's going back and forth in between these two laws because it's told to go somewhere that's harmful to it, but it's told to go somewhere because it was taking on a lawful order from a human. So it's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth because it's basically stuck in this loop. And they use the three laws of robotics to actually fix the problem. It's interesting. But as the stories progress, obviously it's completely different from the movie because the movie is just a Will Smith action movie. I love it. The movie is something that could have taken place in the world of the book, but is completely different from the book. So if you saw the movie, it's absolutely worth reading it. If you read it, it's absolutely worth watching the movie. So, but the book you start to see elements from the movie halfway through the book, such as the psychologist lady, the robo psychologist lady, shows up. I like her character better in the movie. In the book, she's kind of mainly just there, sort of as a not even as a reactionary character, but as someone to be the one to ask certain questions, such as there's I don't know if you remember the scene in the movie where Sonny in the book there's an actual robot. His name is Cutie. I think that's where they got him from. But in the movie there's the scene where Sonny hides in a whole bunch of robots. And Will Smith and and the robot psychologist lady is they have to find out which one is the extra one. There's like 1,000 robots there, and the thing reads 1,001. Therefore, it must be in there somewhere. And they have to figure out who it is, which one is the extra one that shouldn't be there. And in the movie, they say, "Oh, we could ask him about the three laws of robotics one by one." And this is Will Smith. Well, that would take forever, and he starts shooting them. Well, in the book, they start going one by one, cross-examining them, asking them questions based on the three laws of robotics. The movie version is a lot more fun. Overall, the way it's written, using these small stories to show the progression of humanity, is something that's just not done in books, sci-fi books today that I'm familiar with. Golden Age sci-fi, one of the things I miss about it is the grand scope of it and how they can use stories to examine who and what we are and where we're going and if it's a good idea to go there. this was such a good book. There were parts of it that I didn't really get, but that's okay. There were parts of it that I did. And it gave me, um, I wish books are still written like this. Ugh. I give this book 9 Robo Sprockets out of 10 extension cords. I still haven't figured out the rating system yet. I don't know. That's good enough. Thank you for watching. Please stop at the gift store on your way out. Buy one of my books. Links down in the thingy. Or if you buy me a book, I will be happy to read it and do a review on it and post a video on it and thank you in one of these videos because I like being that guy. Thanks for sticking around. Here's a video of my cat. Bye.